Hi there. So this video is about Meteor Hammer. I made this video into three categories. Number one would be barely cancelable. A second category called cancelable but certain, and the third not certain. Barely cancelable means that I chose the heroes that can use Meteor Hammer with literally no risk of being cancelled on the channeling part, or they have barely any risk of getting cancelled while channeling. Second category, cancelled but certain. It means that they certainly will land the Meteor Hammer after they're stun or disable, whatever, unless the enemy ally will stun us. So if there are no enemy allies, then it's going to be a certain disable from the hero plus the Meteor Hammer. And the third would be not certain. It means that there is going to be a gap in between Meteor Hammer casting and an enemy um, getting out of the disable, so they can use Blackened Bar. Um, it means that if they don't use Blackened Bar, they're gonna get stunned by Meteor Hammer. It's like 99% for sure. But if they use Blackened Bar, well, they're gonna have a gap to use Blackened Bar. You know. All right, first hero, Timbersaw. Meteor Hammer and Timbersaw I think is like actually a best item that I don't really see anybody buying at all. But I think that's a great item that provides 8 attributes, which is 160 HP, 1 armor, some mana, 6.5 HP regeneration, and 2.5 mana regeneration. So here's what you can do. Normally, here would just come to, like, let's imagine this is a tower. This is a tower, right? I come to a tower and I just use Meteor Hammer. I have 2.5 seconds while I'm casting to, like, an enemy can break my channeling. Here's something that Timber can do. You can come to a tower and just use Timber Chain on a tree, and right after use Meteor Hammer on the tower, like this. So there's gonna be almost no chance of enemy canceling your channeling, right? That's number one. Number two, Chakram. Chakram has a thing like it slows depending on the missing health. So 342, 23, 303, 285, right? So the less an enemy has HP, the more slow there is going to be on Chakram. So here's something that Timber can do. Like, let's say an enemy is low HP, and then they're going to be barely moving. Timber can, like, use Timber Chain, use what's it called, Whirling Death, and then use Meteor Hammer. So that looks something like this. You drop a Chakram, Timber Chain, Whirling Death. All right. Let's see. 1, 2. No, that was a bad example. Really bad example. Alright, let's say again. I'm gonna do it without Whirling Death. That's like really one that is problematic to cast with the Meteor Hammer. So this one, let's just do some more damage. That the enemy would let's do like below half HP. An enemy gets below half HP. If this acts as 35 HP regeneration, so it's really hard to do much damage to him. Alright, so this is like pretty slow right now. It's only 150, so I use let's say I use Chakram, I use Timber Chain, and I use Meteor Hammer, right? Like that. An enemy cannot really get out, and almost certainly stuns unless they use a skill, like a blink or whatever, to get out, or if they use like Blackened Bar. Okay, so next one here would be with Timber, would be Aghanim Scepter. So it does more slow, based on the percentage, of course does more damage, and an enemy starts to move a lot slower, a lot faster. So, let's see again. Okay, doesn't move fast right now. Yeah, well, also about the same thing. And the third thing is Chakram plus Atis. Atis is actually a very good item for Timber because you can toss an Atis onto an enemy and they will have to stand in your Chakram for 2 seconds. And that is somehow like a way how you can combine Meteor Hammer and Atis. So you use Chakram, you use Timber Chain, and then Atas, and then Hammer. Right, let's do it again. So Chakram, Chain, Atas, Hammer, like that. And the enemy, unless the enemy presses back in bar, they certainly will not be able to get out of the Meteor Hammer stun. Right, once again, let's do it like here. This one, this one, this one, this one. Right. Something like that. Okay. Second hero, Pango here. Pango, Pango, Pango.
Damn it!
Pango. Alright, so if an enemy has Black and Bar, they will be able to use Black and Bar. Let me see. Let me give it the horn. So here's something you can do. You can cast a Rolling Thunder and then cast Meteor Hammer. Okay, and then cast Meteor Hammer, like not on the hero on top of it, but like ahead where you think the Rolling Thunder will knock it back. Okay, so let's do it like this. This way. And so the hero has time to use Black and Bar, as you saw. I used it with the Meteor Hammer. But I think if you would cast it like, let's say right here, maybe right on top of him, and then Rolling Thunder will knock back the hero, like let's say right here. Maybe you can make it a chain stun. Let me try that. Okay, let's see. Rolling Thunder, Meteor Hammer, right on top, and then boosting Black and Bar on max. Yep, that was a chain stun. So he did not even have time to use the Black and Bar, the Meteor Horn. All right, once again, if I'm using that on top, right on top, using Black and Bar. This time he had enough. Maybe I should do just a bit before, like here, for example. Try it again. No, this time didn't have. This time didn't have enough time. Yeah, so you can chain stun like that. It's best to be used, let's say, when your ultimate is about to end. What's the duration? Duration 11 seconds. So let's see. It goes like that. Like stuns for some time. And then let's say.
Do not need to take this
well, let's do it again. So stunning for some time. Oh, that's not good. Let's get in the middle. Let's say stun for a bit. Well, enemy had time to move, but if it's made perfectly, you can chain stun, or still, even if it's not gonna be chain stun, enemy, if enemy doesn't use Black and Bar, they will be certainly stunned if you do everything correctly, properly. Second thing would be with the tower. So let's imagine this is a tower, and I'm like pushing, I got the lane killed, and stuff, and then I'm just getting away. I'm using Meteor Hammer, and use the teleport after. So, and I'm out. I did a stun and damage for 375 damage on a tower, and I safely TP'd home. And the only thing that can cancel me is whatever bypasses Black and Bar. And if the enemy doesn't have anything of that, then I'm just safe, and I did damage, and well, I'm good. I can just try again with the Pangler ultimate.
I have never
okay, so let's say stun a bit.
But sometimes I do.
Stun a bit. And let's do this one here. So that's stun. Well, yeah, he can move, but well, if it depends on you, how you do it. But if it really depends, you can make it to be chain stun. Which is a great addition to Pangolier. Next year would be Phoenix. Phoenix.
Such dick.
Phoenix has two skills, Coward's Dive and Supernova. Supernova has a stun duration of 3 seconds, So if an enemy failed to kill your ag, then you can use.
Not yet.
Oops, not enough. If an enemy failed to kill your ag, you can use Meteor Hammer right after the ultimate. Right on clicking bar. Okay, so since it's 3 seconds, so anything that is above 3-second duration is going to be a chain stun, but for Phoenix it's not. Well, an enemy has time to press clicking bar. So once again, and then let's say enemy failed to kill the egg, use the Meteor Hammer. I think, yeah, yeah. This time I couldn't click really. Let me just try again. Axe, custom backing bar right now. He has enough time. But if he has no backing bar, he will be chain stunned for almost 5 seconds. So 3 seconds on here and 2 seconds, almost 2 seconds for the Meteor Hammer. Number 2 is Icarus Dive. Again, let's imagine this is a tower. So I can Icarus Dive, use it on tower, and safely get away without really getting my channeling cancelled. Other way is you can buy Atis, and you can, let's say this is an enemy, I can use Icarus Dive from far away, throw Atis, and then Meteor Hammer. So let's say Icarus Dive, like that. Also, well, like Licking Bar can say that, but it's just something that Phoenix can do. Next one, Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit would be rolling boulder. That's the main thing. It has the same properties, so you can have you can do that damage to the tower. So let's say you are nearby a tower, you use Rolling Thunder, Sun Remnant, let's say, and then Meteor Hammer. And then you safely get away, you most likely not gonna get cancelled, channeling, and you are far away. Second thing is, you can actually, in this case, you can chain stun unless an enemy has an ally that can cancel my casting and the Meteor Hammer. So the duration of the rolling boulder is 1.6. I mean sun duration, 1.6, and then if you add a sun remnant, it's going to be plus 1 second, so it's going to be 2.6 seconds. But the thing here is that you can cast before you even stun an enemy. So you can cast like right here, and then let me just show you that. Okay, so rolling here, and then let's see if I can have enough time. Yeah, this time I had enough time, but if I would have Aether Lens, then I can cast Meteor Hammer even from further range. So let me show you what I mean by that. Like that. And in that case, I didn't think I was gonna be able to use the bar. Yep, I was chain stunned this time. I was chain stunned on Axe. I mean, gonna use Black Bar once again.
Axe is not ready.
Gonna use, yeah. So that's the chain stun. So only if an ally enemy will break my channeling, the hero will be chain stun for 2.6 plus 175. I think that's it. So like that's like almost 4.5 seconds. Believe so. Next hero, Underlord. Underlord can use ultimate and then use Meteor Hammer. So that looks something like this. Let's say you are hitting a tower, and then you see that like it's for you, it's time to go. There are no creeps or whatever, or enemies are going onto you. So you use Dark Rift, and by then you use Meteor Hammer on the tower, and like you almost certainly are not going to be broken unless you fuck up with the timing right. So this is something you can do and do some extra 275 damage before you leave. Other way is with the Pet of Malice. So you drop Pit of Malice, you drop Meteor Hammer, and well, that depends. You can you can it depends. I don't know what to say really. That depends if allies can help you stun lock them or something like this. But normally it's not something you can do, but it's an addition. And let's say with Atis, you can certainly do that. So what you do here is you drop the Malice, then you drop Rod of Atis, then it's gonna chain stun with the Malice again, and then enemy's not gonna be able to move unless they have a blocking bar or something like this. So Malice, then Atis, then stun, and then they're gonna root it, and then they will not be able to get out. Well, okay, let's see. But I mean, just to keep in mind, let's say there is a wave. Let's say there is a wave also coming in here, and then you can use ultimate first, and like that, and well, I mean, it's just an ability that it's not really the best hero with the Meteor Hammer, but it's just something to keep in mind that you can like combine Pit of Malice and Rod of Atis, and you can use Arc Rift, the ultimate, and then use Meteor Hammer later. Next hero would be Vengeful Spirit. This one is actually pretty good. You cast the Meteor Hammer right under yourself, and then swap. And that swaps right into the stun. Once again. I do it with a shift. So like shift, you see the green dots, it means that it's shift moving. You can also do, I mean, you can either do it with shift, or you can actually put a channeling ability requires hold stop. So it means that first of all, like while you're casting, you cannot be interrupted, no matter what I do. And well, yeah. Okay. Oh right, yeah. So it's a really good combo because you can, so casting, swapping, and then stunning. And that's a chain stun for a good amount of time. Next here is Storm Spirit. Also, even though Storm Spirit is not the one that really normally gets a Meteor Hammer, it is a good one. It gives you mana generation, which every Storm needs. It's fine, it's 2.5, it's fine mana generation. It gives you attributes, which is alright, some mana, some attack speed, some damage, some life. But the key things, number one, with level 20, you get a 3-second stun on Electric Vortex. And if you get Axe, you can then do
Scepter.
You can do multiple enemies combined together. So you can Vortex into a stun. I think there is, since this is 3 seconds, so anything that stuns for more than 3 seconds is going to be a certain stun. Anything that stuns for more than 3 seconds. But if it's like literally 3 seconds, I didn't think it's going to be certain. I think enemy will have some time to use blocking bar. Let me do it again.
Not quite yet.
Yeah, so has time to use blocking bar. Alright, but still, it's something to keep in mind. That's number one. Number two, you can cast Meteor Hammer, same with a tower. So let's say you are nearby a tower, or you can fly away, use Meteor Hammer and tower,
Over here now.
and that will do 375 damage to your tower, right? That's number one. Number two, you can just bypass a tower, like that, let's say. You can use Meteor Hammer too. Also, safe way to use Meteor Hammer. I think that's pretty good, to be honest, on Storm. Like, really, normally Storm is made into right click, like Orchid into, let's say Hex, say no Yasha, Kaya, maybe Senj and Kaya, whatever people do that on Storm. Normally it's like right click DPS, but Meteor Hammer is really not that bad because Storm does not have much damage on towers too. Storm like usually tries to fight with the heroes and tries to evade, like tries to avoid clicking on the tower because it means that you're standing still and can get caught. And if you get caught, well, then you may not even use your ultimate. You do not have enough time to use your ultimate because silence attacks, whatever. And that's a safe way to use Meteor Hammer. And the last one would be out of the safe ones, the barely cancelable. It's Treant. Treant is actually very much cancelable, but considering that he can, with level 10, he has invisibility, and he gets permanent, like walking in trees. He can use Meteor Hammer with the ultimate. Alright, so ultimate, let's say I'm hidden, like actually I'm invisible and in trees, so they can't see me. Ultimate, and then I'm using Meteor Hammer on whoever got in there. So it's most likely that I'm not going to be seen or caught, and enemies can use only Bucking Bar to get out, or well, I mean not only not only Bucking Bar, but whatever they like, anything to dispel the brutes. Okay, now the second part, cancelable but certain. Cancelable but certain would be first one, Beast. Beast has ultimate with a 4-second duration, so unless an ally of like enemy's ally will cancel my channeling, that's going to be a really long stun. Chain stun, just like almost 6 seconds of stun. Next hero, Magnus. Magnus has stun duration of 4.75 actually. Oh, that's with the level 25 left talent, so that's gonna be 375. Anyhow, RK into Meteor Hammer. It's like also very long stun, certain unless an enemy cancels it. Batrider. Batrider has Disable with a flaming loss of 4 seconds. So Meteor Hammer, let's say I buy Charl Boots, Blink, like regular items on the Batrider, so I can, let's say, get the hero out of the fight. Let's say jump in, and Meteor Hammer like that. And I had just barely enough time. Do it again. Let's say, like right here, jump in. Yeah, that was chain stun. Okay, so that's something Batrider could do, or just regularly if there's a certainly there's only one enemy and nobody's nearby, you can just try to come in, ultimate, and then Meteor Hammer like that. That's also going to be 4 plus, like almost 6 seconds of the chain stun. Wyvern. Wyvern is also a decent one. It can be cancelled by other allies of the enemy, but in this case it's going to be harder because Winter Curse has AoE, and if enemy gets closer, they can actually just start attacking that one, the one enemy that you got in. So with level 25, I got longer duration, so that would be total of 7 seconds, but it doesn't really matter. It's just like if there are multiple enemies caught in the Winter Curse, you can stun all of them. Let's say good, like you can also say there are multiple enemies going to be here. That's going to be a good chain stun for multiple heroes. Natures requires some items. Would be a what the fuck just happened? How did this one? What is this one? What happened? Didn't do nothing. That pisses me off. Oh, okay. That's better. So this one and Hex. Here, Hex is a 3.5 second, what's it called? Disable. And Brutes allow you to keep an enemy in place. So normally, like if you would use Hex into Meteor Hammer, he will just run away, like no problem. But the Sprawls allow to keep an enemy in place and then combine it with the Meteor Hammer. So it goes something like this. Oops, my bad. So first would be sprouts, then hacks, and then it's a chain stun, chain disable. 3.5 seconds plus almost 2, so this is almost 5.5 seconds disable. Maybe you can do hex first and then sprouts, I'm not sure, let's see. I think you can you? I was clicking back in the bar, I didn't think it worked. Let me see. I think this time it's only gonna work. I think I fucked up a bit. Yeah, okay. Well, it's better to use sprouts first, then hacks, and then Meteor Hammer. So sprouts, hacks, and Meteor Hammer. That's gonna work for sure, unless you get cancelled by an enemy's ally. Last one out of this category would be Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight has stun of, let's do it again. Let's do this one, and then Dragon Knight. If we're talking about level 7 and level 4 of the Dragon Tail, it's going to be 3.2 of 25. So you stun, Meteor Hammer, Black and Bar right now. And that didn't work because that's more than 3 seconds. Anything that is more than 3 seconds is going to chain stun for sure. Again, like, enemies can cancel your casting, but you can buy Black and Bar, let's say, and then you can use Black and Bar, this, that, chain stun. This is gonna be like actually Dragon Knight position 4. That's something that is not really bad in my opinion. You get some what's it called, poison damage with the ultimate, so it means you can do some extra damage on towers. As a position 4, you can be quite tanky, and you have a stun for 3.25 seconds on level 4 of the Dragon Tail, and if you reach somehow level 25, you can take the left talent and stun for 485, which is a long time. And the first skill, the Breathe Fire, provides damage reduction of like 25%, I think. Yeah, 25%, unless you take the level 10 talent, which provides you with 49 damage reduction, 49%. Due to the damage their attacks deal. So this is like, I think Dragon Knight support position 4 is really good, to be honest. Like, considering Meteor Hammer, Breathe Fire, Dragon Tail, everything's good. Like, as a position 4, you don't really need Dragon Blood because normally they don't tank. But again, like, look at me. I'm actually I should restart. Let's see, Dragon Knight. Let's say I have no items. I have level 18. Like this, health. So look, it's level 18 Dragon Knight. It has 20 armor. It has 2.1k HP with no items at all. Like position 4, I think that's good. In lane you have a stun. In the lane you have some extra damage up to 300, and you have a stun for up to 3.25. Also damage reduction, like very good. For it, only like attack reductions apply only from the attacks. But still, I think Dragon Knight position 4 is also a very good hero that most people, I think nobody actually plays Dragon Knight position 4, but in my opinion, it is very good. Let's say regular Dragon Knight, Blink, like a position 4, I mean, Blink, Meteor Hammer. Let's say you rush into Meteor Hammer like ODs do right now. So Meteor Hammer, stun, Meteor Hammer, or you can do ultimate, so longer stun range, like that. Then you can buy a Blink later, so you can do that with the Blink, Stun, Meteor Hammer, Blink, Stun, Meteor Hammer. And then you can also add Black and Bar, which will allow you to certainly chain stun after the Dragon Tail with Meteor Hammer. So Black and Bar, Blink, Stun, Meteor Hammer, and that's a certain chain stun. Unless enemies have some disables, to break your Black and Bar. To be honest, I think it's actually going to be good if you use Black and Bar, and there are going to be enemies that have some spells or casts that can pierce through Black and Bar just to break your Meteor Hammer channeling. That's actually going to be good if you are position 4, because like who cares about position 4 if enemies use the Black and Bar piercing spells for Black and Bar? That means that they're not going to use them on your allies, which are more important, like position 3, position 2, position 1, are going to be safer with in their Black and Bars, right? So you either finish your chain stunning of the Meteor Hammer, or you get cancelled through Blackened Bar, and most likely it's just gonna be good for you, for your team. I mean. All right. And now up to the third category, not certain, tied.
On your guard. I have seen the
Right now, there are many people playing tied position 4 or 5 support because he has quite good spells. But main one is the Ravage. Ravage level 3 would be 2.8. So let's say you use Ravage. Right, so Ravage, including Meteor Hammer. An enemy will have time to use Blackened Bar. But if they didn't use Blackened Bar, there's going to be a certain stun. Next one, OD.
The dragon waits.
OD, actually I got a tip for you guys on OD. If you... Well, OD with the Astral Imprisonment. OD, I got a tip. If you have an English Dota client, then when you hide into Astral Imprisonment an enemy, that's gonna say banished. And when the line reaches H, you should use Meteor Hammer, and that's gonna be almost immediate. The enemy will have time to press back in bar, but that's just gonna be like almost perfect. So let's say H, which is H right now. And as soon as the enemy gets out, it gets stunned. Like, he doesn't have really much time. Sure, they do have enough time to press back in bar, but barely any time at all. H. Alright, so you got idea. Next. Nyx has a level 10 talent, I believe, on the stun duration. So base stun duration on Impale is 2.6. With the Impale stun duration, talent is going to be 285. So again, they have enough time to cast Blackened Bar or whatever, but otherwise they don't have any time to cast anything else.
It is not yet time.
Wait, was it chain stun actually? Let me try again. This one.
It is not ready.
Yeah, that was actually a chain stun, huh? I didn't know this one because it was 285, but I forgot one thing. Is that first it's not instant, it has some time to reach, and then by the time it reaches, it doesn't start stun immediately, I think. I'm not sure, maybe it does. Anyway, that looks like this is actually a chain stun. Yeah, that's chain stun. Nice. Okay, that is chain stun. Well, yeah, then in this case it can be broken by allied heroes that are nearby. But still, chain stun, great. Next one, Nyx. Oh wait, no, Riki. Riki right now is being played as position 1 pretty much entirely. Everybody plays as position 1. But if you ever play as position 4, Riki, or whatever else position, Meteor Hammer is also not bad with the Aghanim Shard. Aghanim Shard is a sleeping dart, fires a dart at a target enemy, putting them to sleep for 3 seconds. At the end of the duration, the target wakes up and takes 150 damage and is slowed by 3% for 4 seconds. So you drop a sleeping dart, and then you drop Meteor Hammer. I can do it actually even earlier. Make it better. Right now. Should be like perfect. No, okay, just a bit earlier, maybe on E when it reaches the E. Like right now. Let's see. That looks better. Maybe even faster. Right now. Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a combo you can be using. The key point here is that you can also use that on towers. Because you're invisible, nobody's gonna see you. Let's say this is a tower, and you just come like this. And since you're invisible, nobody even see you casting. Number 1. Number 2, with a dart, again, you're invisible, and you most likely are not going to be seen unless they have sentries or gem, or you being shown with the Necronomicons or dust. Okay, so dart. And that is not chain stun, but just something to keep in mind. And the last hero is Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon. Let's see. So let's say Soul Catcher into Disruption. Okay, Soul Catcher, Disruption, and then Meteor Hammer. Duration of Disruption is 275. The enemy will have time to use Blackened Bar, but if they don't use Blackened Bar, that's going to be actually like this is a quite strong combination, because Disruption is going to spawn 2 illusions, and they will be attacking for the stun duration that enemy. So it goes like this. Get stunned, and there are 2 illusions that are attacking that hero. And imagine that would be, let's say, Grey Hero anti-enemy. Level bots 30. Let's give anti-mage regular anti-mage items. What can we give? Would be, let's say, Manta. What is Manta? Let's say Power Treads. Scotty. Heart. This one, Manta Abyssal. Manta Abyssal. Abyssal. Manta. Okay, like that. And let's see now. This one. Yeah, this one. Well, that burned almost half of anti-mage's mana. Enemies, if your allies will be, or you may even have hacks. So normally anti-mage doesn't make, Blacking Bar. Sometimes anti-mages do, but normally don't. So in that case, if your ally has hacks, you can hack things for more. Actually, I shouldn't do it right away. Just a bit later. Okay, once again. Maybe a butterfly here. I'm not sure. Whatever, actually, doesn't matter. Okay, once again. Soul Catcher, Disruption. And then hacks a bit later. Just a bit later. Right now. Yeah, well, anti-mage right now has no mana at all. And as many of you, most of you should know or do know, anti-mage is not capable of fighting without mana, because he always relies on a blink and like to get out of the fight, to get into fight, use ultimate, Manta, Vessel, all acquire mana. Just an example could be also PL, Great Hero, Lancer, enemy, level bots 30. Let's say regular PL items, Diffusal Blade. Actually no, PL is not a good way. I think he is gonna have enough time to use Doppelganger. Is he? Let's see. I think he will. I need to choose the hero first. Sorry. Let's see. Hiding, Meteor Hammer, PL. Yeah, he hasn't had enough time. Okay, PL is not the best example, but well, let's say the heroes that do have great illusion damage, such as Blade. Actually messed it up with a different one. Well, whatever. You got the idea now. I think I listed all the heroes. I've checked all of them, and I think the ones that I found are the best ones for the Meteor Hammer. All right.